As all of you already know by now, the early toxicology results have come in for the 3 Kansas City Chiefs fans that were found frozen to death in their friend's backyard. Now, I'm happy that the families are finally getting some form of an answer as to what happened to their loved ones. I'm happy that police are communicating with them a tad bit now. But I have been left underwhelmed by all of this. Do any of you all feel the same? Because, like I've said before, and I think that most of you all are probably on the same page, we all assumed that they would find stuff in their system. Like, this was not a shocker. This was not anything that surprised me at all. I assumed since day one that there was something in their system. What was going to be in their system? No one knew for sure, but we kind of guessed it would be what they say is in their system. But also, forgive me, folks, but the story and the details surrounding this case have they've flip-flopped and changed so much over the course of the last couple of weeks that I'm left feeling like I need to see these results with my own 2 eyes to really believe everything. Now, I believe that we're getting told the truth, but at the same time, I'm just like, I want to see for myself as well. Because the story has changed so much, I don't know what to believe anymore. Like, for example, we don't know if Jordan's really in rehab or not. There's a lot of things that we don't really know about this case. We think we might know, but we don't have much official information, even at the time of this recording. You know, a lot of people, including myself, we've been talking about these different substances that were allegedly found in these guys' systems. But we don't know that for sure. We haven't seen the paperwork. Law enforcement hasn't even come out and confirmed any of this. None of this information is confirmed by law enforcement. At the time of this recording, none of the families have even done an interview confirming any of this info. It's just sources talking to local news outlets. I mean, I believe the information, but you just never know, folks. You never know. So, I'm stuck here really wanting to know, where do we go next? That's what I'm interested in. Yeah, okay, you found stuff in their system. What's the next step? What steps are investigators taking now? Is this like a open and shut case? Well, we know what was in their system and we just end the story there? Or are they investigating further? I know that they have their cell phones. I know that they have been looking through their cell phones. They even had to contact some family members to try to get a password. I don't know what type of warrants they may be waiting for. And to be honest, these toxicology results came back way earlier than expected. So part of me is wondering, you know, did they get back some early information that they just wanted to go ahead and tell the families? Because the families have been in the media saying that the police aren't telling them anything. And, you know, they're starting to look bad. They're starting to get some heat because the public started applying pressure. We're putting videos out. The news is talking about it. Various YouTubers are talking about it. They're talking about it on TikTok, on Facebook, on whatever freaking social media app you can think of. So maybe they felt like they needed to go ahead and get ahead of this situation and let the parents know a few details, because the parents have been out here saying, oh, we think Jordan did this, Jordan did that. So maybe law enforcement felt like they needed to step in and provide some early information before the, full report has even come in. But with that being said, I want to roll this news clip really quickly. Let's see what they're talking about on the news. Before I do that, though, make sure you hit the thumbs up button and make sure you subscribe. I'm going to roll this clip, though, and then afterwards, I'll be right back with more thoughts. Now, let's go ahead and roll that beautiful bean footage.
Let's start with what matters here. Breaking news, okay? We now know what killed these 3 men in Kansas City. How it happened, whom else might be in danger, those are the questions. But this is certainly not over, all right? So what do we know? 3 young men in their 30s found dead in the backyard of a friend who survived. Didn't make sense. Why? No sign of foul play. One of them upright in a chair, one of them without a coat, frozen in the cold. Didn't make sense until you see the blood. Let's go to News Nation's national correspondent, Alex Capriello in Kansas City, Missouri, for the latest. It's a big scoop. What do you know?
Yeah, big scoop and certainly unexpected. We were told that these toxicology reports would not come back for at least another 3 to 5 weeks, but little did we know that they would be delivered to the families, at least the information that was within inside of them to the families. Basically, what I've heard from my sources who are connected to these families tell me that detectives from KCPD called them, told them that the preliminary toxicology reports have come back to their desk, and it shows that there was a mixture of cocaine, fentanyl, and THC, also known as marijuana, that was in their systems. Now, the families themselves have not actually had new copies of these toxicology reports. I think that's still going to take some time, but I think this is what you've been alluding to for the past couple days. These families deserve at least some sort of closure, some sort of answers, and it appears that KCPD did that today.
So, Alex, oh, good.
Jordan's a chemist. They all knew him as that. It was easy for them to go have fun, but he up. He made a mistake. Jordan is somebody that is known from high school as like creating drugs for people to make them feel better in certain situations. Okay, well, you want to do this? Okay, I'm gonna make this for you. I'm gonna make this for you. I'm gonna make this for you, and handing them out.
So, Alex, look, this is this guy's opinion. He is from the community. He may know this guy, Jordan. You know, this is going to be part of the investigation. But what's the word from the families about what this means to them and what they want next?
I mean, every single family member that I've spoken to say that they're still devastated. This is still an unexpected death to befall their family, but it is a sense of relief that they are getting some sense of answers moving forward. Yesterday was the first step, just meeting with the Platte County prosecutor, knowing that an investigation is indeed going on. Now, they're no closer to a finale or a wrap of this investigation, but they met with the prosecutor. Now, the very next day, they get some preliminary results from a toxicology report, and so I think it is heading in the right direction, and that brings them some sense of relief.
A lot of you have dismissed these young men's deaths by saying, well, you know, if they're junkies, listen, they're not junkies, okay? Were they using drugs? Apparently, yes. Doesn't make you a junkie. And here's my concern, and this is why I've been hinting at this in the reporting. It takes such a small amount of fentanyl to kill you. It is easily added to cocaine. Okay? And it is used to boost cocaine. And it may be happening in Kansas City. So if this batch wasn't tailor-made for these gentlemen by some, you know, corrupt chemist, the way suggested by that one family member, well, how many people are at risk of this product on the streets? Let's bring in the attorney for the family of Clayton McGeeney, Tony Kagay. Thank you very much for being here. Tony, how do I say your name right?
Kagay, Chris.
Kagay. Thank you very much, Counselor. Appreciate it. What is your take on these findings? What are the next steps that the family want to see?
So, I mean, I think it's important to note that at this point, no official toxicology report has been released. Mm-hmm. And my understanding is that there have been informal communications from KCPD to some of the family members. I've not personally had the opportunity to review any of the reports, so I can't really speculate on that. What I can say is that this is just the first step. Mm-hmm. I don't think that anyone familiar with this situation or this investigation thought that there wasn't something else in play here. And I think that the toxicology report is going to be the first step on many steps in the investigation as to who is responsible for these men's tragic deaths.
Look, the families have been saying to us from the beginning, somebody did this to them. Did the guys party? Yes. Did they play with drugs recreationally? Probably. But when they heard about fentanyl being in play in this reported toxicology, what impact did that have in your experience?
So, again, I can only speak for Clayton's mother, Nancy, and his fiancee, April. And again, I've not had the opportunity to review the reports. I don't know that anyone has. I think, again, it's just been a phone call from law enforcement. But if fentanyl was involved, which I don't know at this point, then obviously, I mean, what you were saying prior to me coming on is clearly accurate, that it's a scourge and it turns recreational drug use into a lethal situation.
Yeah, and that's if you know. That's if you know. If you don't know, then you're in a different area of criminality, obviously, potential criminality, and of implications.
Okay. So we now know that these guys had something in their system. We all get it. We already assumed that. So the obvious question is, where did this stuff come from? Now, in a usual situation, we would be asking, okay, where's the dealer? Where's this guy? Where's that guy? In this situation, though, we have a unique situation where we have Jordan, the chemist. Now, I saw a comment, yesterday, because you're watching this video in the morning, but I really filmed this video last night. But I saw a comment from someone saying that I was irresponsible for talking about the possibility of Jordan concocting something. They said that I was irresponsible for talking about that possibility. Well, I have to disagree, because this is not me creating random possibilities off of the top of my head and just throwing them on YouTube. This is not me creating wild speculation of my own and running wild with it. Also, like I said, this is also not me telling anyone, hey, this is what happened. I'm simply exploring possibilities, talking about the what ifs. And this is not a scenario or a what if that I created myself. Since early on in this case, the parents themselves, the parents of the men who died, were out here saying that they think that Jordan concocted something. So when I go over that possibility, I'm going over that possibility because it's a possibility that the parents threw out there. That's what they have accused Jordan of. So when you see me or other people talking about that possibility, that's why people are discussing this. Not because we concocted some wild theory, or at least I can only speak for myself. It's not because I concocted some wild theory in my big head. No, it's because the parents have accused Jordan of that. Also, we have the cousin of, I believe it was Clayton's cousin, who spoke out. And he said that Jordan has been creating his own drizzugs since high school. That everyone in town, everyone at the high school would go to Jordan to get their fix. And Jordan would whip up special stuff, special mixtures of stuff that would make them feel good in certain situations. The cousin has accused Jordan of being the person who had the stuff. And he says everyone knows it. And to add the cherry on top, local media outlets, local reporters have been speaking to sources on the ground who know Jordan, and they say that they know that Jordan creates his own drizzugs and stuff as well. So this is not me being irresponsible. This is me discussing the what ifs when it comes to the accusations that are already out there against Jordan. because we have parents accusing Jordan of creating some type of concoction. We have the cousin claiming that Jordan whips up stuff and he's been doing it since high school. We got several other anonymous sources that local media outlets have talked to that all back up those claims that Jordan's doing this stuff. So the question right now really is this a situation where these men got some random stuff off the streets, which is very likely, or did Jordan whip up something himself? Did Jordan take various substances and create a party mixture and compact it into a little bean, if you will? Did Jordan take a little bit of Coca-Cola, a little bit of fentanyl, and a little bit of this and a little bit of that and put it all in one little capsule? Did Jordan have anything to do with what was in these guys' system? That's the question. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he did. Maybe Jordan did the same stuff that these guys did. And that's why he was, supposedly asleep for 2 days. Maybe Jordan's been telling the truth. I'm open to all possibilities, which is why I try to explore various possibilities. And right now, we don't know what happened. The early toxicology results are supposedly in, but that doesn't change anything. A lot of people may feel in their mind today like we're in a different place now in this story, but we're really not. The stuff being in these guys' system, that's what we all thought anyway. So we're really still in the same place, still really waiting on the answers that we're looking for. Yeah, we have been, some of our suspicions may have been confirmed, but we really haven't gotten anywhere in this case yet. But for now, let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. If you would like to donate to the channel, you could do so via CashApp. I'll have my CashApp in the pinned comment. You could also donate via Super Thanks. But make sure you subscribe and ring that notification bell. And with that being said, I'll talk to you all soon in the next video.